What's up everybody? Now that Echo is live and everyone has finally gotten a chance to try her out, many players are starting to look forward once again and ask, what's next? What new content update or big release can we next look forward to in Overwatch? So in this video, I'm going to cover what we can expect over the next couple months for the game as we continue with the ever arduous grind towards Overwatch 2. This is Master Ian Gamer, and real quick, I'd like to remind you to subscribe and pinch that bell icon to both help out my channel in these trying times and keep you up to date with all future Overwatch news and content. But now, let's take a look at the imminent future of Overwatch. The next major content release we have to look forward to is the 2020 Anniversary event. Being one of the 6 main annual events, Anniversary will be returning this year around the usual time, being the latter third of May. While we don't know its exact date just yet, it won't be starting any later than May 24th, given that that is the specific date of Overwatch's anniversary, and thus it wouldn't be much of an anniversary event if it didn't at least encompass that date. So the event likely will be starting shortly before then. I'll be going much more in depth with the 2020 Anniversary event dates, skins, and other details in a separate upcoming video of mine, so be sure to stay tuned for that coming very soon. However, with Anniversary not starting until the latter part of May, that leaves about a month between Echo hitting live servers and the event starting. Will anything happen during that period of time, or will it just be another month of people complaining about how OP the new hero is? Well, much to our delight, it seems that Blizzard is likely to have something up their sleeve. Looking at the past several months of Overwatch, Blizzard has been pretty good about consistently having something active in the game. Whether it's one of the 6 main events, a hero challenge, an Overwatch League skin, or some kind of other new feature or experiment, the game has rarely gone more than a week or two without having some kind of limited time curiosity or general reason to talk about Overwatch. And the next few weeks are likely no exception. Getting specific, however, late April will almost certainly feature a new short story and hero challenge mini-event. Why this specifically? Well, it fits the pattern. Starting with Ana's Bastet short story, which released in January of 2019, there has been a new short story and corresponding hero challenge every 5 months. 5 months after Ana's, we got Baptiste's short story in June, and 5 months after that, we got Mercy's short story in November. This pattern actually existed even earlier than Bastet, starting with the very first mini-event, which was Diva's Nano Cola Challenge. This one was a bit different, however, as it corresponded with the release of Busan as opposed to featuring a short story, and given that other non-story-bound hero challenges like Ash's Mardi Gras and Bastion's Brick Challenge have been a bit more sporadic, I only count the challenges with short stories as being a part of this pattern. And with each of these lore challenges being 5 months apart, April just so happens to come 5 months after the last one we had in November. And with the gaping month-long window between Echo and Anniversary, it seems like the perfect time to squeeze in a 2 or 3 week long short story event. While it's true that we got the Echo Micro event, which featured 6 unique sprays to unlock by watching people livestream Overwatch on Twitch, I don't think that this will prevent us from getting another slightly larger scale mini event featuring some sprays and a new skin starting either in late April or maybe even early May. Especially with Echo's stream rewards only being available for a week after her release and ending on April 20th, that leaves plenty of room to squeeze in a quick hero challenge and short story between then and Anniversary. So assuming that we do get some kind of hero challenge around the end of April, which hero will it feature? Once again, we won't know for sure until it happens, but there are some clues to take note of. The hero who perhaps sticks out most is Zenyatta. Being notorious for how little lore he has despite being in the game since literally day 1, Overwatch game director Jeff Kaplan actually teased nearly a year ago that more Zenyatta's story would be coming, quote, soon. And unless he was referring to the subtle mention of the Shambali monks from one of Echo's teasers, we still have yet to see that Zen lore manifest itself. Additionally, it's worth noting that so far, every single short story hero challenge has been for a support hero. I'm not sure if this makes it any more or less likely for the next one to feature a support as well, but if I'm being honest, I don't think this is an intentional trend on Blizzard's part. It's more than likely just a coincidence. So Zenyatta does have a decent chance of being the star of the next short story challenge based on what Jeff said all those months ago, but we'll just have to wait and see. Moving past events though, another thing which was recently confirmed becoming are map reworks for Paris and Horizon Lunar Colony. In a post discussing competitive map pools, Blizzard acknowledged that they are looking to respond to player feedback on the two locations by implementing changes to them in future patches. Paris will be looked at first, with changes to the map's layout being taken into consideration. Now, this won't actually be the first time Blizzard has gone back and tweaked the layout of an Overwatch map. Eichenwald underwent some minor changes not long after its original release, and Horizon went through a pretty substantial rework a couple years back that changed much of the map's design. However, with the announcement of these upcoming reworks only having just recently been made, it's unclear when exactly we'll see them hit live servers or even the PTR. Looking at the Horizon rework from back in 2018 as a reference, a partially reworked version of the map accidentally leaked to PTR in the latter half of April 2018 and was quickly removed. We then didn't end up seeing the finished rework's official release for more than a month and a half after that initial leak, meaning that the full rework must have taken at least a few months to complete from start to finish. However, this only gives us a general estimate of what to expect for the upcoming Paris and Horizon reworks. While Blizzard has announced that the changes will be coming, we don't know yet whether they've actually started on the reworks yet, or have just simply committed to going through with them. On top of that, the priority of these reworks is unclear. Overwatch 2 is known to pretty much be the dev team's #1 priority at this point, so that could mean that the changes for Paris and Horizon will take a bit longer to complete. Therefore, we unfortunately can't make any sort of estimate as for when we'll see these reworks go live, but just keep in mind that they will be coming sometime sooner or later. And one final thing I'd like to tack on the end here is that, despite Jeff having first talked about it all the way back in January, we still have yet to see the ability to sort player icons added to the game. This was originally confirmed to be an upcoming feature in the same developer update where Jeff first announced hero pools in the experimental card, but to date, we have yet to hear anything more about this feature's implementation. So that's one more small yet highly anticipated thing which we could see finally making its way into the game sometime in the next couple months. But like many things, we'll really just have to wait and see. And that's all the big things we can expect for Overwatch over the next few months following the release of Echo. It is always possible that Blizzard will sneak in a surprise or two, and we can keep our fingers crossed for that, but I wouldn't recommend getting your hopes up too high for anything big like that happening. As always, I'll be making videos on my channel covering any new information or reveals we end up getting, so be sure to subscribe, pinch that bell, follow me on Twitter at MasterEnGamer, and check out my Discord server to keep up with all future Overwatch news and content. If you'd like to support my channel, you can become a channel member by hitting that join button down below to unlock some dope rewards like the people you see here. But otherwise, this is MasterEnGamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.